I just really can't even explain it. It's just, it's a real headache. And because I am going through everything and analyzing it and dissecting it, is basically allow yourself to feel all of these things, but step out of that situation. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do the long anticipated video on anxiety. If you guys have followed me on my channel since the beginning, or even if you have tuned in recently, you well know that I have anxiety, and I am very open about it here on my channel because I do not really see a point in hiding it. It's definitely not something to be ashamed of. It is real and people do suffer from it. And myself, in coming out on the internet like this, I have come to find that actually a lot more people than I realized suffer from anxiety. And, you know, obviously I don't want you to suffer from anxiety, but it does bring me some comfort kind of knowing that I'm not alone, and you should also know that you are not alone. So I'm going to share with you some things that I have found on the internet about anxiety, mostly just like the actual definition of anxiety in case you are wondering, you think maybe you have it, or if you're just curious as to what it is actually defined as. I know personally I didn't realize that I had anxiety. I thought that I had depression and that I was weird. And then I found the true definition for anxiety and realized that that was 100% me, and it did bring some comfort because now I just at least know what it is and I can kind of deal with it from there. If you hear anything, Kinsley is sitting here on her iPad, so I'm sorry about that, but she is just watching something on YouTube, and I am filming this while I can. So if you hear anything, it's her. So this is what I read on the internet about what anxiety feels like, so I'm just going to read it off to you guys. So it says, there is a misconception that anxious people are antisocial, short-fused, or overdramatic, but they're most likely processing everything around them so intensely that they can't handle a lot of questions, people, or heavy information all at once. Anxiety is when you feel everything. And I totally agree with that. It's hard for me to be in crowded places or to be in like a social situation where there's a lot of people. I can feel very overwhelmed. I just can't get a grasp on, like, I just can't, it just feels like I can't just come down to earth and just process everything. It's just like an overload of information. It says, anxiety is debilitating. It feels like a constant heaviness in your mind, like something isn't quite right, although oftentimes you don't know exactly what that something is. And that is also something that I experience. And if you have anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. There are days where you just have this eerie, awful feeling looming over you. Something is so bad wrong, but you don't know what it is. You cannot put your finger on it. Nothing has happened. You try to think in your mind, like, what could I possibly be worried about, or what am I stressing out? And it's literally nothing at all. You just feel bad. And now I know that that is actually a symptom of anxiety. It feels like acid in your stomach, burning and eating away at the emptiness and taking away any feelings of hunger. It's like a tight knot that you can't untwist. Anxiety feels like your mind is on fire, overthinking and overanalyzing every little irrelevant thing. Sometimes it makes you feel restless and constantly distracted. It feels as if your thoughts are running wild in a million different directions, bumping into each other along the way. And that could not be defined any better, I don't think. That is exactly how I feel, but I was unable to put that into words, and that put that into words for me. It's like spaghetti noodles or intertwined piping that just goes like this in my brain, and like all my thoughts are running into one another, and I can't have a clear thought, and that is terrifying. Honestly, if you cannot think straight, imagine if you were unable to just think straight, how scary that would be, because you kind of feel crazy and it doesn't feel very good. Oftentimes it makes you feel detached, as if your mind has gone blank and you are no longer mentally present. You disassociate and feel as if you have left your own body, which I also experience. Not a whole lot, but I think that's like a symptom of when it has gotten really bad. And that's probably just the way that your mind deals with it, is just kind of checking out for the meantime. Anxiety feels like there's a voice in the back of your mind telling you that everything is not okay when everything in fact is. Sometimes the voice tells you that there is something wrong with you and that you are different from everybody else. And that's where I said earlier I thought that I was just weird, because I do feel that way. I feel set apart from everyone else, like there's something wrong with me, I'm defective, or just weird, to sum it up. I don't know. But I do feel that way, and earlier it had mentioned overanalyzing everything, and I also do that in situations where maybe I said something that came out the wrong way, and rather than just like blowing it off and moving on, I will sit and analyze that and dissect it and think about it for a week after it happened, and it will drive me absolutely insane. But that is anxiety, and that's what someone with anxiety goes through. It tells you that your feelings are bad and a burden to the world, and that you should isolate. It makes everyday tasks such as making simple decisions incredibly difficult. It does feel like that. Sometimes you just feel like you should just not bother anyone. You can push your friends and family away because you feel like you're a burden, like you have too many problems, and you can't, the biggest thing I think is you just can't really express to them how you're feeling. Unless they have anxiety, they can't really understand, and it's not something that's really easy to put into words. So I've definitely felt that way. Anxiety can keep you up at night, tossing and turning. It's like a light bulb that comes on at the most inconvenient times and won't switch off. Your body feels exhausted, but your mind feels wide awake and racing. You go through the events of your day, analyzing and agonizing over every specific detail. And that is 100% true. I cannot tell you how many times I have laid in bed at night just thinking of everything I did that day, how I did it wrong, how I could have done it better. I just really can't even explain it. It's just, it's a real headache, and I've had to take sleeping medicine a lot of times in my life just to help me shut my mind down, but it's really hard to shut my mind down because I am going through everything and analyzing it and dissecting it and just thinking way too deeply into the most common things that most people probably don't think twice about. Anxiety is a liar, although it feels incredibly real. And it says in here, listening to it will not make it go away. Listening to it will not make it go away. You need to resist it, fight it, don't let it win. So that being said, I think what that means is basically they're saying, instead of just trying to, you know how they have that saying that says, in order to fix the problem, you have to admit to the problem, or something like that. It's the same with anxiety. In order to, you're not going to be able to fix it, but in able to deal with it effectively, you're going to have to accept that you have it and that it is what it is. Rather than trying to push it out of your mind, you have to deal with it, deal with the symptoms of it. And I will go a little bit more into how I deal with the symptoms of it, but it's definitely not something that you want to try and hide or to try to push under the rug. You want to try and face it head on. It does help, trust me, I know. It says, hear out all the worries and irrational concerns. The simple act of listening to it will show you that you are not it. Let it rant and rave and panic and cry. Let it tell you everything it's thinking, and then you can choose. And so what it means when it's saying that is basically allow yourself to feel all of these things, but step out of that situation. And this might be a hard thing to learn, but if you practice, you will learn how to do this. If you can, you have these little voices in your head that tell you right from wrong, and they just tell you, like, I'm hungry, whatever. And those voices, you can use those to your advantage. So listen to what you're saying. I woke up today and I just feel really overwhelmed, and I feel like that thing that I said to her last week was wrong, and she probably thinks I'm a weirdo, or whatever you might be thinking. Allow yourself to think that, and then say to yourself, okay, I know that I'm thinking these things and I'm feeling this way, but it's not real. There's nothing at all to say that she's mad at me because I said that. Our relationship is fine. We still talk to each other every day. Or, maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed. Well, you can tell yourself, like, just look around. Are the kids taken care of? Are you healthy? Is everything? Are the bills paid? Or everything that needs to be done? It's all done. If it's not done, Is it gonna hurt anything if it doesn't get done today? Probably not. So, you just kind of have to rise above the situation and tell yourself that this is just my anxiety. I'm gonna let it run its course, and then it's gonna be okay. I hope I'm making sense when I explain this, and I think I'm gonna try to go into this a little more after I'm finished reading this article. So I guess that was the end of the article. It just kind of went a little bit more into how to listen to your anxiety. So instead of reading that, I'm going to go on with my personal experience with anxiety and how I deal with it. So anxiety for me, about a year and a half ago, I thought that I was depressed. My husband had left for a deployment. I had 2 young children, and it wasn't the first time, but it's still hard. It doesn't make it any easier. And I was kind of a hermit. I wasn't leaving my house. I became very fearful of public situations. I was pushing people away. I was feeling very overwhelmed. I didn't want to do anything, and those all felt like that was what depression was. I mean, we watch the depression commercials. I think we kind of, as a society, have a clear understanding what depression is. It's much more widely talked about, and people are more open about it. But once I went to the doctor and I got put on medication, and I'll talk about that in a minute, I started to feel so much better. And then upon talking to a girlfriend that also suffers from anxiety, she was able to lead me to a website that kind of gave what I was feeling a word, and that word was anxiety. So it's obviously possible to suffer from depression and anxiety hand in hand, and I'm not going to say I haven't ever had the both of them, but overall I'm not depressed. I'm very happy. I'm not down in the dumps or sad. I want to have friends, and I want to do social things, and I want to get out of the house. It was just more just being fearful of it and overwhelmed by it. It just seemed like too much. Just the thought of going to Walmart to buy the kids a new toy, or maybe I needed to pick up a grocery item. It was just too much. It was too much work. It was too overwhelming. I couldn't do it. And that's kind of where I feel like depression and anxiety are different. So now that I know what I have and I am being treated for it, I do still obviously suffer from it. It's not a complete fix, but it does help. It says some mornings I can wake up and just feel awful for no particular reason. I just feel overwhelmed. I feel unorganized. I cannot organize my thoughts, which is very stressful when you can't organize your thoughts. And I do write everything down all the time. I cannot tell you how many notebooks I have in this house with things that I jot down, and that does help relieve it. But until you've experienced the way it feels to not be able to control your mind as far as like your thoughts racing and such, it's really hard to understand, but it's just not really a feeling that you can get rid of. So I kind of just have to deal with it. And so how I deal with it is I know that, okay, today I'm having anxiety. So today I've got to be good to myself. It's okay. I'm going to not worry about doing the laundry today. I'm not going to worry about going out of the house today. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm just going to, maybe I'll watch some TV shows, or maybe I will read a book or talk to a friend, or whatever it is that makes me feel better and gets my mind off of it. And I'm not going to worry about the house and that sort of thing, because I don't need to. I mean, everything can wait until tomorrow. You are important. Your mind, your body, you as a person, you are important. And in order to take care of your family and your friends and, everything around the house, you have to take care of yourself first. So just think of it that way. I will tell you that it does not last forever. When you have those bouts of anxiety, it's not something that's going to last every single day, or at least it hasn't for me. I may have it for a couple of days in a row, and that's okay. But typically it's just one day, and the next day I feel better. And I know that now, and I kind of have caught on to my pattern of how it works. So I know on my days of anxiety that I just need to take a load off and just let it run its course, because it will run its course. It's not here to stay. So once you kind of understand that, and you learn how to, keep your mind off of it and just allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to be, kind of rise above it, like it was talking in that article about letting it say all that it needs to say, but then choosing how you're going to react to that, and that is what I do. So my camera cut off. But anyways, I'm talking too long. I'm going to try to not make this go too far. But when you overanalyze everything, it really just sucks. Just to be plain and simple about it, it sucks. So yeah, it's kind of hard to, like, YouTube was hard for me to put myself out there because obviously there are people out there who just love to judge me and they have a field day with that, and that's fine. I feel like I'm kind of rambling. If you don't have anxiety, maybe you know someone who does, and hopefully this will help give you a little bit of insight into what they might be feeling. If you do have anxiety, please don't be afraid to open up to your friends and family about it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It is real, and it really does suck, and it does help when you reach out and let people know. And that way, when you are having a bad day, instead of them thinking that maybe you're mad at them or they don't understand what's going on, they know that you have anxiety, and that way they can maybe help you out. And hey guys, sorry about that. My card keeps running out of space and my camera keeps dying. I think it's a sign that I need to end this, but I just wanted to finish saying what I was saying. I definitely think it is part of the healing process to open up to your friends and family. If you think you have anxiety, or if you know you have it, just let them know so that they can maybe be more helpful, and then you won't feel like you're hiding some secret. And then also I wanted to touch quickly on medication. Some people are totally against medicine, and that's fine. I respect that, and so should everyone in your life if that is your choice, because it is your body. And some people are for it completely, or maybe they're just interested in it, and I also respect that, and so should everyone in your life. It is your body. You should see your doctor and talk to them about your symptoms and how you're feeling. There are several different medications out there. It may not be the first one you try that works. It may take several. I have no shame because it does help me. Anxiety is real and it helps me. And so, yeah, I just think if you've been thinking about getting on medication, it's definitely worth talking to your doctor about. The only advice I have about it is do your own research before you go to the doctor. Research different types of anxiety medication so that when they prescribe you something, you kind of already have an idea about that in case you have any questions or in case you are against that particular medication. And then really quickly, I just wanted to add a fun fact. So my channel is Keep Calm and Clean, and the way that I came up with that was not actually because of the popular Keep Calm and Chive On or what all those things, but it was actually because cleaning is a way that helps me to keep calm. So the name just came to me one day when I have anxiety, cleaning helps. So that is kind of the story behind my channel name, Keep Calm and Clean. I have anxiety, cleaning helps. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope that this was helpful to someone, and I'm glad that I finally got it out there. This was kind of hard for me to do. In fact, this was the second one I filmed because the first one I filmed I got a little emotional in, probably having more anxiety that day. Today I feel good, so I got it redone and here it is. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry if you suffer from anxiety, but just know that you are not alone. And yeah, so give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!